New drivers, new calendar, and possibly a new commentator too. And we're hoping to see some even more exciting racing this season, where we start off Season 2 of the OFO Formula Racing League here at Melbourne, Australia. So here we are then, the 3.2 mile long street circuit wrapping around the Albert Park Latrix plays host to this season's opener. 16 turns in total with 2 DRS zones and overtaking usually into turns 3 and 13. And getting a good exit out the final corner really is key here. So here's the calendar for this season then, split into 2 parts, 6 rounds to reach Monza, and then after the winter break, we have 4 to finish the season, ending at Brazil. The potential driver lineup then for this season: King of Time split from his teammate, joins William Cox and Alfa Romeo. Marquito continues his William run, joining Ruby for this season in the Williams car. Never consistent Sammy joins Shadow of Time in the McLaren car. And then next up we have Gaming Pass, last season's champion, sticks with Red Bull with Chandra alongside him. Worthcatter makes his league debut for Haas, and his teammate yet to be decided. For Ferrari, the man not often on our screens, it's Shogi, and he joins Breaker, can't make this race this week. Yacht finally starting in the league for Racing Point after his 3 reserve appearances, joined by William Turner. Russian King and Jack Sparrow line up for Renault this season. The Racing Point duo, Lucky Bastard and Light Blurs, move to Alpha Tauri, and finally 2-time podium winner Ivan joins Elon in the Mercedes car. I'm Tom and Pigeon Hunt, and now the introduction's done and we can get into the race and qualifying. It's time to introduce my co-commentator joining me. It's Alex Pellex Brand.
Hello.
How are we doing?
I'm good. I just ordered my food. The qualifying has started, and we've got some drivers going straight out to their laps around Albert Park.
Yeah, I'd love to see the first race of the season coming out, a treat for hopefully a fantastic Albert Park race. Of course, it's a short qualifying, and I keep going on about this. Short qualifying, we have 3 choice of dry tyres, 2 choice of dry tyres, 3 tyres in total, sets of the soft tyres and a medium tyre for the drivers to use as well. And as drivers get out of the pits, they start the first few runs at the start of the season. And Alex, let's have a little bit of discussion and take me through what happens this league between Tier 1 and Tier 2. Talk us through that.
So with Tier 1 we have the supposed top 20 drivers picked by the managers of each team. Tier 2 is consisting of kind of the rest of the drivers, but throughout the league there is free transfer of drivers. So a manager can pick to promote whoever they want, whenever they want, into their team. So that'll be an interesting factor in the league, I think, for both the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, especially there are some drivers who can't start the race a day. Break was meant to be in the Ferrari starting this race, but he has COVID. He has got COVID and he has to isolate in a hotel room. So Break, if you are watching, get well soon. We can't wait to see you back in 2 weeks' time. Some drivers also haven't come to join the race. Lightblurs, his teammate, is not here at the moment. But we do have most of the drivers in for this season. And Mark is already on his first flying lap. Going a bit wide on the exit of Turn 5. So yeah, Australia, a really, really tricky circuit to get actually right. It's a very technical one. And not much overtaking to be done here.
Yes. So I think Elon wants the Mercedes driver hasn't been able to make qualifying due to the integrity of his game pass, but should be in for the race. So he's going to be starting from the back.
I mean, he is still in the pits. It does say he's in the lobby, so we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, so at least we have last year's champion and last year's runner-up, or last season's runner-up in the form of Gaming Pass and Sammy respectively. Gaming Pass sticking with the Red Bull team, but Sammy moving towards McLaren, joining up Shadow of Time. And it's a shame to see the Shadow of Time, the King of Time duo being split up, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Ruby setting a good time of a 1:21, so nice bank lap. We'll see if that can be beaten. The 2 Williams drivers being the first 2 to set laps. Mark 2 seconds off the pace as he sets his bank lap on softs.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mark going wide, especially during that first lap, was the factor for him. Let's see where Gaming Pass can put himself provisionally. And he goes second with a 123.0. So Ruby, I don't know whether that was just a perfect lap from him. But Yacht making his league debut this season after doing the last 3 consecutive races as a reserve driver, one being for Racing Point. But he goes pole with a 121.6, and Ruby only 2/10 behind him. Russian King is this smiley face. We have asked him to change his name, but obviously he hasn't. He goes with a 122.7. So far we're just going to get all the times trickling and see where the grid really is at right now. The track's green, of course, so there's going to be room for improvement. And drivers are going to improve their time as they go along.
Russian King and Ruby F1, they've done a lot of practice on Australia throughout the week. I've done some races with them. They don't really like Australia, but I think nevertheless they should be setting some good times in qualifying.
I think Australia's a track where a lot of people struggle with. It is very technical, and you do have to get the right balance of riding a lot of the curves at the same time, just like Russian King we did on the entry to the fast left right chicane. But yeah, trying to ride all those curves just to make sure you actually get a proper exit out of all the corners. And I think it's a very hard track to get flowy, to get right. There are countless amount of corners where you can lose time if you get caught up. So we'll see how the Tier 1 drivers fare with this. The Tier 2 race is also going on at the same time as this. It just isn't being streamed yet because we need to find casters. If you want to have a go at casting the Tier 2, just hit up Alex on the OFL Discord. He'll get you sorted with that, because we do want to have both events streamed so far. But at the moment, qualifying banker laps being set out. We have Yacht in P1 at the moment, Ruby F1 in P2, and Russian King rounding out with the Renault in P3. But those are banker laps. We should expect Gaming Pass. We should expect Sammy to be up there, as they have been all the time.
But it's nice to see Yacht with his first appearance for a permanent team, topping with his banker lap. 121, that is quite a good time, but of course there is still time to be found.
Yeah, I think you can really find at least 1.3 seconds. I think Sammy knows how to drive. He's been setting times within the 120s, so there is definitely more time for him to find, and I think it's just trying to get a lap right as we see Ivan go out off the pits to set another lap.
Okay, it was let past by Shoki, who seems to be playing an in-lap now.
Yeah, I mean, in the intro I talked about Shoki being the quiet driver. Again, I haven't actually caught his outlap. So a good lap to put him into P3. That is on medium tyres as well. So he is going to find a lot more time there. Shadow of Time, just retiring there. So obviously he's given up. But we are still waiting for 3 drivers to split a time. Jack Sparrow, Universe and Elon. Jack Sparrow, of course, being the unlucky driver in the last outing, getting his podium revoked. Which is a shame, but it was a dirty move that he made. It's also interesting to see Ivan as well. 2-time podium winner. Those podiums were... now I am going to say those podiums were quite lucky for him, but he was in the right place at the right time, and especially the strategy for Spa was absolutely perfect for him. So we'll see what he can do throughout this league.
Whoa!
He decides to kill his former teammate Mark moving across the track, and he's going to give himself a 5-place grid penalty at the start anyway, but that's definitely going to... That's definitely going to be reviewed. Mark, I mean, we've said it before, his luck has been shocking, and especially when I've mentioned him to be in contention for a podium, he's just completely lost it. And well, this weekend isn't going to be a good start for his title challenge either, being taken out already and having to retire. So at least... his lowest position for the qualifying will be 11th, and I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I was just recording Ivan's outlap here. I was spectating it. I think, paused because I think he thought Mark he'll let him pass, but he kind of just stopped on the racing line.
Yeah, that's not how you let someone pass. You don't drift into the racing line to let someone pass. Light blurs, however.
So you kind of just added a chain.
It's one of those situations, and I think, you look at Tier and you think that those mistakes really can't be happening. Speaking of mistakes, Light Blur's making a small mistake into turn 1 for the start of his lap, but hooking up nicely through turns 3 and 4, going a little bit too wide. Of course, on this league, we're not on strict corner cutting, so any track extension that is deemed legal by those rules are okay for us. But Yeah, we'll just have other drivers setting their laps now, and I think it's really hard to get a lap time, really hooked up around here, especially Light Blur's proving that. Just going a bit too deep into a few corners. Let's see how he handles this left-right chicane. Takes it nice and lovely. If you put your car on the inside of that right-hander in that chicane, you've completely unsettled the car. So to try and get fast, you need to go as close to that as you possibly can. But hopefully, drivers should be setting faster lap times with their newer tyres, and the track being rubbered in with there being 8.5 minutes left to go of this session.
I've been seeing as drivers are going through Clark turns 9 and 10, they are taking a lot of curbs. Sometimes I just thought Ivan just ignored the fact there was curbs, kind of treated it as a straight line, which will be interesting to see how that helps him. He doesn't set an amazing lap time, even with doing that. But
speaking of amazing lap times and setting one, Russian King, the smiley face, has just gotten into P1 with a 124.4. Now let's see if Sammy can best that. And he can! He goes roughly 7/10 faster with a 1 minute 20.7, the first driver to dip into that time. Let's see if Gaming Pass can follow anything up with himself. He's just started his lap and he's on medium tyres again. So opting for a different strategy so far. And what's really cool to note is Chandra is only just a few hundredths behind him. Chandra usually being one of the drivers towards the back of the field, so let's see if he can keep himself up towards this league, obviously putting the practice in to try and get closer to his teammate, of course the champion last year, and sticking with Red Bull, who were also the Constructors champions last season. Well, do you care to commentate on someone being disqualified from the session for driving the wrong way?
I wasn't watching what was happened, but
well, okay, that's
interesting one.
Well, Universe P16. That's the best he's gonna get. We'll keep going with that. Yacht being demoted down to P3 after taking provisional pole, but there are still 6 minutes left to get at least 2 lap times in. I think Gaming Pass just not happy with this first banker lap, setting another one on the medium tyres. Let's see where this puts him.
It was a nice final corner. He's made about 1.67. It's not great, but it does put him up into P6.
Yeah, I mean, that's he hasn't improved yet though. Chandra also improving though. Oh, he did improve, but not in positions, mind you. Chandra, however, it's impressive to see him close behind his championship-winning teammate.
Yeah, with some quite familiar, similar times between the Red Bull drivers. I am expecting Gaming Pass to make a better lap when he uses soft tyres.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it is uncharacteristic to see him this far away from the top.
I mean, maybe he's a very circuit-dependent driver, who knows? I mean, he has been consistently up there, P1, P2, P3. But he is also behind Shoki, who is on the same tyres as well, who's just going incredibly slowly for some reason. Oh, just letting drivers pass.
Yeah, just letting him pass.
What is interesting to me is King of Time, he's also this far up. He's usually a very consistent midfield driver with the Alpha Tauri, but putting himself up to P5 so far with the Alfa Romeo. So from one Alpha to another, and really putting himself on the map. But the usual contenders for pole, being Sammy, he's right up there on provisional pole so far. And Russian King is now going out on a set of soft tyres to try and set another lap. But yeah, Gaming Pass, he's probably going to try and go for a new set of tyres. Look at this traffic jam in the Red Bull garage. Look at that.
Oh lord.
That's gonna cost them some time. But they will have another chance to get one more lap done as the track gets even greener and even more rubbered in to set another lap time. Hopefully Gaming Pass can challenge for that pole position. He has been challenging for every race that we've streamed. Of course, this is going to be the first full season of the OFO FRL we are streaming, picking up the last 4 races of the season last season. But hopefully this will be a good season to watch.
Most on board with Shoki as he sets his proper quality lap. He's on mediums. So it's quite late to be doing a banker. I think he might be trying to go on an alternate strategy here.
See, what thing is, you're going to need at least 1 minute 40 seconds to leave the pits just to get your tyres warmed up. Because if an average lap time is 1 minute 20 seconds, you know you're going to leave yourself 20-25 seconds just to start the bank lap, just to get the most out of the circuit and its conditions. Now, Shoki will be on the cusp of this. He might just about have enough time. But we'll see where this first lap... Oh no, he's going into the pits.
In.
Oh,
it was a oh.
That's a Lewis Hamilton Germany moment. Now let's see if he can... Oh, will he have to go around again? Let's hope he doesn't get disqualified for this. Oh, that's a class move. That's rallying. Turn. That is rallying, that is. If F1 cars had handbrakes, he'd be the king of handbrake turns. Ruby is on another lap, I think. Putting themselves into P4, former McLaren driver for last season. Moving into the Williams to pair Mark. And I think let's hope Mark's luck doesn't rub off onto Ruby. I mean, that's poor to say, but Mark, he hasn't had the best of luck to the start of the season, especially. Being taken out by Ivan, the Mercedes just drifting into the racing line.
In general, from what we've seen, I don't think he's had much luck at all.
Thing is, he's a very, very consistent driver when he's in the position. But I think he's consistent, but then he puts himself at the wrong place, wrong time. You know what I mean? Like, he's been overtaking back markers at the wrong time. He's got the safety cars and the virtual safety cars at the wrong time. So he's consistent, but unluckily consistent. So that's something you can't even work on as well. That's something you just have to, you know, it has to be, you know, you have to win it, really, that lottery.
Yeah. You're going for probably his last lap now. He's on softs. He's coming up some traffic in front of him. He should be let past by the AlphaTauri, unless he's making a quick lap, so it doesn't seem it though.
You know what I find really funny? You know, Simon Lazenby, the Sky Sports F1 commentator, Yacht has just absolutely bottled it on the exit of Turn 5, broken his front wing. That's his qualifying over.
Yeah, I feel like he was compromised a little bit going into there by light blurs.
Yeah, that dirty air really not doing wonders for him.
Yeah.
But he is doing his best to get out of the way.
Yeah, he's making sure to stay out the way of other drivers, being courteous. Hopefully that 121 will serve him well once everyone else finished their final laps.
See, now I'm on board with Gaming Pass. He's setting a new lap now. So this is going to be the last lap that he won't be able to set unless he's fuel saving. It looks very, very clean so far. Gaming Pass is a very, very clean driver. His driving style is very, very smooth, very, very calculated. And it is nice to see, especially on a qualifying lap. And we'll just ride on board with the rest of this lap so far. And we'll see what his second sector time is like.
Yeah, Ruby's not going to be making up any places. They've compromised their lap quite badly, taking a bit too much curb and going onto the grass in pretty much every other corner.
So, Russian King is on his outlap. He's probably going to be the last person to finish alongside with Shoki now. Gaming Pass. Let's see where this lap puts him. It only puts him into P3, so Russian King pretty much solidifying himself a P2 unless Yacht can say anything about it. No, he can't, because he just lost his front wing. I remember that happening now. Now, Russian King, he's going to be on the charge for pole, his first pole in the league so far that we know of. King of Time putting himself into P5. That demotes Ruby down into P6. Shoki, let's see what he can do on his last flying lap going through the first sector. He needs to keep this lap nice and clean for putting himself into at least the top 5. Now, Chandra, let's see what he can do in the top 10 so far. This is going to be the first time he will have qualified in the top 10. And it's a good debut for Red Bull for him. Yacht, of course, retiring from the session because he has nothing else to do. Now, let's see if he can solidify that P4 and keep him up there. But at the moment, Gaming Pass, Sammy, and Russian King are in the top 3. And I think this is going to be the final lap for Russian King. Oh no, he hasn't even made the start of the lap. So Sammy has pretty much solidified himself pole here for the start of the season. Now let's see what Shoki can do. He enters the final sector. Nice, clean, tidy lap so far. The double right-hander looking nice and clean, taking just enough curve on the inside to put himself in a nice position towards the outside. Now make sure you're not taking an early apex for this final corners. And then this last long sweeping right-hander onto the exit of the back straight. Can Shoki improve? Yes, he can. Up into P5. So he said to put himself into the P5, it would be into the top 5, sorry. It would be absolutely wonderful for him, and he's done that as well. Chandra finishing in P8, his first top 10 qualifying position. Shadow of Time just rounding out the P10 as well, but Light Blurs, Jack Sparrow puts him just into the top 8 with a 122.8.
Beating his time by a second there.
That's a good lap from him. That is something you really love to see. So yeah, that's pretty much qualifying done. Gaming Pass, not in the position we'd usually expect him to see. He usually is on the front row, but who is on the front row? It's Sammy starting off well for McLaren, and it's Russian King starting off well for Renault in P2, rounding out the front row. Gaming Pass playing in third position. And we've just been given a hydrate from Mark. Thank you very much. Good luck to you, Mark, throughout the race. So here is the qualifying results for the OFL Formula Racing League Season 2 and the first race. It's Sammy on pole for McLaren with a 120.7. Then 7/10 back, it's Russian King for Renault. Gaming Pass in the Red Bull in P3. Now going down the order, it's Yacht, Shoki, King of Time, Ruby, and Jack Sparrow. Chandra doing his first top 10 appearance for Red Bull.
Is Ivan going to be starting in P13 after his 5 grid place penalty?
But I think he might be starting even further back than that. I think that that penalty got applied just then. So we are waiting for everybody now to join the grid and to join the to get this race underway. And I'm looking forward to it. Let's see if they can keep it clean and keep it calm. And let's see if drivers can also keep themselves out of trouble on the start of the race, as they usually... there is always someone who doesn't start. There is always someone who just parks it on the grid and absolutely causes a collision.
So session starting in 4 seconds.
Everybody just about connecting now, and we're going to get ready. All the ticks next to their names means they're ready to go. Light Blur's the last one to connect. The American, his ping is going to be a bit worse for wear, but 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5. And for the first time in Season 2, we're racing underway. Sammy, fantastic start from him. A clean getaway from all drivers, but the Red Bull Gaming Pass challenging Russian King on the outside, but the first corner, everyone getting away cleanly. We'll do the top 10, but there are a load of changes of position as one of the Williams drivers has gone on, and one of the Alfa Romeo drivers has also gone off too. And a virtual safety car just to neutralise this race. So Ivan, 5-second time penalty for him. And Yacht has been gifted P3, but the top 2 staying the same. Gaming Pass, horrendous start from him from P3 to P6. And let's hope Mark wasn't involved in any of those actions.
Alfa Romeos.
Well, that's definitely going to be looked at on the penalties. So, Elon with a 5-second penalty with a severe collision with King of Time. But Mark, he's kept himself out of trouble and he's on the medium tyres. So his strategy is going to probably go in the favour of him. But the Red Bull drivers in P6 and P7, Chandra really holding up his own. And he's actually, I think he's actually improved since since the end of Season 2.
Both the Mercedes missing a front wing. It's going to be a double stack at their garage.
So the Mercedes drivers, the start going from bad to worse for them as we get racing once again. Yacht around about 1 second behind the lead too. So Russian King now on the back of Sammy, and now Sammy has some sort of challenge for him this season. Looking at the gaps, Mark is overtaking Jack Sparrow. As the Renault driver makes a mistake, that's going to put Light Blurs into prime position to get himself up into P9. One of the drivers pits, one of the Red Bull drivers pits as well. Sammy setting the fastest lap. So Chandra and Ruby in the pits, and Jack Sparrow too for their teams. Promoting drivers up into further position. Mark now up into P6. So Gaming Pass, a poor start from him. He's got to try and make up the time. This isn't the pace we've seen from him before. Yellow flag in Sector 3, but that has been cleared. No idea what's caused that. But so far, the gaps between the drivers fairly steady. I think Shoki's got to keep this 1 second gap to actually give him the ability to get closer towards Yacht. Yacht, the driver, making his permanent season debut for Racing Point. He's already stood in for them once in Spa, I believe, but actually finally on the grid for this season. So Worth Kata making his Haas debut. completely hasn't even made it past the first corner. King of Time as well for Alfa Romeo, and Universe for Alfa Romeo too. They're just completely bottled their chances of scoring any points for their team at the start of the season. But the top 4 separated by only about 3 seconds, as Gaming Pass is going to try and get himself involved into this battle too.
Yeah, a very slow pit stop from Mercedes. Ivan going in first, Elon Monster stacked behind him. It's now been lapped on the 3rd lap. He released really slowly. It seems as if he just wasn't there for the manual start.
Yeah, and now Elon already a lap down, being placed in between Gaming Pass and Mark. Mark's got another back marker to try and overtake. Let's see how that one turns out for him. Now, Yacht, he's really getting onto the back of Russian King, only 5 tenths behind, but that dirty air throughout this second sector is going to cause him some harm. Of course, dropping already a 10th back on the timing screens you can see on the left. Look at that dirty air. He's just understeering everywhere throughout the second sector. So this battle for the podium positions is starting to heat up now. Gaming Pass getting ever so much closer towards the back of the pack from P2 to P4. Yellow flag towards Sector 3.
Yeah, it was just Ivan. I think he just went a bit wide from what I'm seeing on the mini-map. Doesn't seem to be making much time either. He's being chased down by the pack, and he's pretty much destined to get lapped.
Yeah, well, so far the position gains have been Mark gaining up 6 places from his initial start. Shoki gaining 1 as well, and then you're also gaining 1 too. I think definitely Mark is going to be the big gainer there. So the battle really heating up now for this final points podium position, and now Gaming Pass is also in the DRS train, but a virtual safety car, and Jack Sparrow has a 5-second penalty for a severe collision. Now I think that might be the cause of the virtual safety car, and look at Jack Sparrow. He's got no front right end plate.
Yeah, I think he's had a collision with Ruby. He's DNF'd. And it was looking good for him. He qualified quite well, and he's been practicing this track. But it's not going to be able to pay off. He's DNF'd in the 4th lap as the virtual safety cars come out.
Yeah, I mean, there's practice and then there's racecraft practice, and I don't think it's paying off well for him. I know drivers are quite fast in this league to actually qualify in good positions, but they can't maintain them throughout the race. Now, Yacht, he is just about behind this train that is being led by Russian King, and Russian King is going to be swamped now by the DRS of Yacht. And I think Yacht might have this overtake enabled. Russian King going defensive on the inside. That's going to put him in a bad position for the last few corners. Yacht really trying to get involved in the action in the last sector, but this isn't a conventional overtaking zone, so he's going to have to wait till the last corner to try and actually get a jump on to Russian King, force him into a different line to get the advantage on him now. DRS enabled, overtake also enabled, and the overspeed Yacht is going to carry is going to be absolutely fantastic as he goes around the outside of Russian King into the P2. So Russian King now got to try and defend for his life from the positions, from the drivers behind him. Shoki also now getting involved. Russian King might just fall back the pack and fall back the order.
We really just have got a DRS train for the top 5. It was good Yacht being patient, but all the while they're fighting, Sammy's building up his lead.
I mean, I think that Sammy lead was inevitable though. He's such a quick driver in this league, and I think he's going to be in contention for winning it as well. Gaming Pass, last year's champion, then down in P5. He's going to try and get his nose stuck in as well. Hopefully not too much of it so it doesn't break off. But Shoki, he looks like in prime position to take Russian King at the same place last time as Yacht. Let's see how this dirty air affects him going through the chicane. And I don't think he's going to be close enough with DRS, of course. Russian King also has it too. Yeah, Shoki not exactly close enough, but he looks towards the inside just to show he's there. But that also compromises his run through the last sector. That puts Gaming Pass in such a good position, but he goes wide into the final right-hander of that section. Now, Gaming Pass trying to eye up Shoki, but he just got a little bit oversteery on the exit of the slow left-hander. But look at this now. He might be in position to take this. Shoki making a few mistakes through the last sector. but Gaming Pass isn't quite close enough into the first corner. Let's see what happens at turn 3. I think this DRS train is going to continue, as yeah, Gaming Pass definitely isn't quite close enough. So this 4, from P2 to P5, they're just going to be stuck in this train for now.
Yeah, Gaming Pass is making up some good time. Shoki seems to be going a bit wide, taking a bit too much curb on some of the corners, but Gaming Pass just hasn't found the right passage to safely pass him.
You could say he needs to find the right gaming passage. You could say that, maybe you don't want to. But
yeah,
oh, Shoki getting way too close to the back of Russian King. I think that was just a bit of lag there. That was close. That looked definitely too close for comfort. And Shoki also went wide as well. Went too deep.
So he's managed to overtake Ivan at the back.
Well, you know, the points, I think P10 to P11, sorry, P12, the Mercedes drivers, I think any positions they try and swap over isn't really going to help them in the championship fight. What might help someone in the championship fight is if Gaming Pass overtakes Shoki on this straight. Shoki, look at him, he's gone way too wide. Gaming Pass is carrying much more speed than him through the exit as well, and he's going to carry so much more speed with the DRS, with the slipstream going towards the outside. Is Shoki to try and defend, and Gaming Pass trying to take around the outside. Shoki just going a bit too deep, forcing out Gaming Pass, and that's a tricky angle to try and keep yourself in and to try and keep a clean line. So I think that's just a racing incident there. Nothing Shoki could have done. He might have carried a bit too much speed from the DRS there. Gaming Pass lucky not to break any of his wing, lucky to not have damage. He can go again on the next corner, but that has allowed P3, P2 and P1 to get ahead. Shoki now outside of the DRS zone of Russian King, so he can now try and fight towards Yacht. So while Alex has a mare in the distance, has your food arrived?
Maybe.
Mid-race snack for him. Shoki now just about in the DRS range of Russian King. Gaming Pass just outside that DRS zone. I wonder if maybe he might have a minor amount of damage as we follow throughout this top 2 to P5 battle. One player who hasn't made any position changes is Chandra. He's still in P9, where he started as Shoki pits for the Ferrari team. So that gives clear air now for Gaming Pass just to try and make any inroads, see if his tyres are any fresher, but there is a driver who has come out of the pits just in front of the lead pack, and I can't quite see who that is, but we'll figure it out as soon as blue flags are being shown. It's probably one of the Mercedes drivers. Definitely one of them, but we'll see who it is.
A quick pit for Shoki, hasn't got any time penalties. He went straight in, got on the hard tyre.
Yeah, speaking of time penalties,
P6.
Speaking of time penalties, light blurs, 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. He will serve that for the AlphaTauri team. Of course, his teammate not here at the moment. So, Ivan needing to get out of the way of the other drivers now, of course, trying to do that at the same corner. Let's see if he doesn't drift into the racing line of Gaming Pass this time. But this traffic is really going to aid Shoki in actually just sticking with the undercutters here. Ivan just gets out the way. Fair enough, you love to see it. It's not going to hinder Mark at all as he's too far away, but Gaming Pass really needs to make the most of this. I assume it's going to be his in-lap, going 1 lap or maybe 2 laps further than Shoki. But if he has seen Shoki pit, he might want to go in now. As Russian King, the Renault driver, I think I saw him going to the pits. Yeah, and he has. That promotes Gaming Pass up into P3. He obviously thinks he has more life left in these soft tyres to try and complete the overcut on Shoki.
Some drivers might be trying to keep those soft tyres alive, switch to a medium. It's going to be a push though. 2-stop strategy would be preferred. Soft, medium, I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, you can get away with a 1-stop strategy on this circuit. Gaming Pass, his pit window has opened now for his hard tyres. So he wants to go towards the end. He wants to really, really stretch out this stint and put himself in a position at the end of the race to have the fresher tyres than the medium tyre runners might have. Actually, no one's going to be running the medium tyres so far. And look at this battle between Shoki and Russian King. So Shoki, with the fresher, harder tyres, has and the warmer, harder tyres, has gotten up right behind Russian King. So this isn't looking good for Gaming Pass on his overcut, as Shoki is right up there at the back of the Renault driver. So, Sammy checking out in the lead for McLaren, 4 seconds ahead of Yacht, who is in P2, being promoted from drivers pitting. But look at this battle here now, Shoki. He's going to be all over the back of Russian King, but he got it all wrong through the chicane, so he's not going to be on the back just quite yet. The dirty air really taking effect as Gaming Pass now gets promoted into provisional P1, as Sammy makes the pit for the McLaren team. Now, that's quite interesting. The hard tyre drivers are looking a lot faster. Let's see if Sammy might lose that P1 that he had, might be promoted as well. But Shoki too far away from the Renault lot. And look at where Sammy's appeared. He's just about appeared. Oh, sorry, that was one of the Williams drivers. I think. No, it wasn't. Who was that? But I think Sammy has retained this P1 nevertheless.
Yeah, Yacht has dropped quite a few positions from that, and he's arrived just out behind Shoki.
Oh, so that was him who was exiting the pits just there. That's my mistake. But I think these drivers now getting in a really, really close battle for this final podium position. Gaming Pass and Mark yet to pit. So, what can we see here? Can Shoki make up another position from his start? Can Yacht regain those 2 positions lost for him? So the top 10 as it stands right now is every driver apart from the 2 Mercedes drivers. Ruby, Universe King of Time, and Worth Catter all retiring from this race, and the 3 drivers at the bottom retiring on lap 1. Ruby retiring after maybe a bit of contact with Jack Sparrow, and we'll see about that in the penalties after the race. If you want to keep up to date with the penalties and the final classification, head over to the OFL Discord channel. Now, a bit of stream trying to be gained from Worthcatter, Ivan, the Mercedes driver, going slow to let the drivers past, and Shoki going a bit wide into the exit of the entry of turn 2. Now look at this, Yacht, he's going to be in prime position to make an overtake, but so is Shoki looking around the outside of the Renault driver. We're just watching from Yacht's position right now, watching this battle unfold. Now Mark is only 3/10 away from Sammy, but he is on much, much older tyres. Shoki all over the back of Russian King right now.
I'm looking at the race director. There hasn't been any instance since lap 7, and that was only one with light blurs for speeding the pit lane, so it's all been pretty clean.
Oh, speaking of clean, Yacht just keeping his front wing clean out of the back of Shoki. That train getting very, very condensed into the midway of the second sector now through this fast left-right chicane. Yacht's gone way too deep into that. That's going to really compromise his run through the last sector, and he's probably not going to be able to make the overtake into the first corner now. And Shoki's also dropped back a little bit from Sammy. And that's this circuit. That's the nature of this circuit, the dirty air, making it hard to follow, and especially this last sector, nice and windy. As Gaming Pass pits from P1. Sammy retaking the lead of this race, and let's see where Gaming Pass pits out now on the fresher, harder tyres. Oh, and he's actually closer than we thought to the pack after using that, after stretching those soft tyres. Yacht getting it all wrong throughout the first corner, but Shoki, he's in prime position to try and overtake Russian King now, who is in P3, the last podium playing position right now, but Mark is still yet to pit. So Shoki currently will be in provisional P3 as he gets it all wrong. That allows Yacht straight past. Has he got any front wing damage? No, it doesn't look like he has, so he's managed to keep it clear out the barriers. Nice car control from him. Not to spin out, but that was a bit of a rough moment for him. So Yacht being promoted, and he might have a bit of clean air to try and make onto Russian King. Now Russian King, he's now got a lot of time just to prepare himself, just to cool down a little bit. So he's not going to be pressured so far, but Shoki, he's going to try and pressure Yacht. He's getting really, really oversteery onto the exit of these corners, and that's going to bring Gaming Pass right into the action now, into this battle for P4. Shoki's really got to try and keep his cool. The rear end being a bit too feisty for him, but Gaming Pass, he's on the medium compound tyres. He's going to have a bucket load of pace for this final stint at the moment. So Yacht putting himself back up into P4, and Shoki, that was a mistake from him that he really can't afford to do. He's still in DRS range though, so that will at least give him something to keep Gaming Pass behind. Out in front, Sammy has checked out. An effective 6-second lead so far from the man in provisional P2. Yacht's putting himself up into the podium positions from the mistake of Shoki. Gaming Pass, now he's 3/10 behind Shoki. He's really going to struggle through the final 2 sectors with the dirty air, but he should be close enough to make a move. So this battle continuing for the top 6. And I think these are going to be the regular names you're now going to start seeing throughout the top 6. Gaming Pass just touching the wall on the outside. That might have put him a little bit of front wing damage, but that's also slowed him down a little bit. No front wing damage for him, just looking towards the inside of Shoki, just to show he's there. Now Shoki's made another mistake. He's gone onto the grass on the exit of the first right-hander in this section in Sector 3. Now Shoki, he might be under pressure from Gaming Pass on this start-finish straight. Now he just needs to get a good exit. The Red Bull driver, what's Yacht done? Yacht's made a mistake. He's got a bit too tail-happy on the exit of the last corner. He's going to be in a really, really horrible position. Shoki, he's going to try and dive it up the inside into the first corner. That's not a usual position you'd make. That's not a usual move you'd make, but Shoki around the outside now into P4. Gaming Pass, he's also going to get involved around the inside of Yacht. And can he make a move on the inside of Shoki? He can! Going up the inside into the first corner, but he's made a mistake! He stopped Shoki dead in his tracks onto the inside of turn 3. Yacht also takes position. He gives it back to Shoki.
Yeah, Yacht opened the door there for Shoki. And Gaming Pass, they both improved. They got up in their own fight. Yacht's managed to go back ahead, and they're pretty much in their usual positions. What's happened is they've lost a lot of time from the top 3.
Yeah, and so the top 3 are going to get away now. Shoki's just looking even further on the back of Yacht. I think he's got damage. Can you confirm that? Because I can't quite check. I want to stay on board. Has Yacht got damage?
Yes, front right end plate is missing.
So front right end plate damage for Yacht. That's really going to compromise his run. His downforce is going to be lowered as well. Shoki, he's going to go on the inside. 3 wide throughout into turn sector. Ow, no.
And there goes the left end plate.
Oh no, Yacht's front wing has just been completely lost, and Gaming Pass 3 wide throughout the start of the 3rd sector. That's not quite what you want to see, as Gaming Pass now finally does make the move. Yacht needs to pit. What's going on? This battle between P4 and P6 is messy. This is not what you usually expect to see between the top 3. So Yacht, from his first P4 top 4 qualifying appearance, has now fallen down the order with front wing damage. His first appearance as a full-time driver in this league, not going quite as it expected. That promotes Chandra up into P6. Now Shoki usually was on with the quiet race. Chandra taking that role over in the Red Bull car, P5 and P6 for that team respectively.
Shadow of Time might beat you out. And as they
he has. But look at Yacht now. He's got the fresh and medium tyres. He's going to have a lot of pace in the final 14 laps. Those tyres, that should actually be fairly good for him throughout towards the end of the race too. So a lot of pace.
Shadow Prime for mediums as well, though. They are going to be a little worse, but surely he's got to pit once more.
You know who hasn't pitted? Mark T10, that driver on your screen. Mark hasn't actually pitted yet. So he's extending this stint, and I think he wants to go to soft tyres towards the end of the race now. Is this going to be a detriment for him? He has got at least, right now, he's got a 21-second gap on Chandra as Yacht makes a move around Shadow of Time up into P7. at least making moves there up the grid to at least secure himself some more points for the championship. 10 races in this championship, so it might be a bit crucial. I think every race is going to be crucial here to try and get some points. And I think Sammy's doing the best that he can so far. The calendar only being 10 races. And,
Yeah, if you're going to want to score highly, you really can't be affording any DNFs. So you just got to get consistent point finishes.
So, as we're speaking about the calendar, we'll run through it so far now. So here we are, 7th November, going through Australia. Next week we go to Bahrain. The week after that we go to China. And then the week after that we go to Netherlands. The 5th of December we go to Baku. And then the last round before the January winter break is in Monza on the 12th of December. 19th of December to the 2nd of January is the winter break. Now on the 9th of January, after that we have Silverstone. And then the last 3 races the week after each other, will be the USA GP, Mexico GP, and finally rounding it off at the Brazilian GP. Hopefully a nice title fight should be going down to those last few races. Back to Australia though, and Russian King is now straight behind Mark, who is on the older tyres, trying to just extend his stint out now.
And with 10 races, you really do have to expect a close fight. You can't build too much of a lead with such a small calendar.
Well, you say that. I think Sammy's going to do quite well to build out a lead. He's already got an 11-second gap so far on the driver behind, who is Russian King, effectively.
And Mark T10 really is helping Sammy. He's pretty much acting as a bus stop.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be a struggle for Russian King to make up that pace anyway. Sammy's just a very, very consistent driver. And he's been consistent through all the races that he's led so far. So Gaming Pass now, 5/10 behind Shoki. He's going to really start to make up those inroads on those medium tyres. Shoki, of course, having the slower tyres. In real life, these tyres are about 1 second a lap slower than the tyre softer, which is the one that Gaming Pass is on. Now he's really got to make sure he gets a good run through this left-right chicane just so he can set himself up to make moves at the start of the 3rd sector. That twisty part as Gaming Pass gets it all a bit wobbly on the outside of the left right chicane. Luckily doesn't bin it, so he keeps himself just a bit closer towards Shoki than Shoki would like.
Mark still hasn't pitted yet, and Russian King's trying to find a way to overtake him, but Mark's got the acceleration out. I've lost the word.
The traction out of the corners. Yeah.
He's accelerating out the corner and just gaining so much time on him.
Speaking about gaining time in corners, Shoki has lost a safety car. There's a safety car out for the first time in the league, and Mark's got a 5-second penalty for some reason with a severe collision with Russian King.
Who's behind him?
I don't understand that.
And Russian King's just lost some of his both front wing end plates. Another 5-second penalty. They don't seem anywhere near.
I don't understand what's happened there. There might be some netcode issue, but the safety car is out now. Let's see how that plays into the hands of Sammy. He could pit here for fresh and medium tyres and still possibly get ahead of the Renault driver.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very close though.
Russian King's wing has been destroying itself just by itself. There's nobody near him and there's just been bits flying off.
Well, you love to see it, the first safety car of this league, and there are definitely going to be some questions towards who caused that. We'll find that out soon for you in the chat. And I think what this league needs is live stewarding, just so we can feed it back. We need a Ted Kravitz. That's what we need. We need a Ted Kravitz. But yeah, so Sammy is now in the pits. He's putting on these soft compound tyres. He wants to stretch those out towards the end of the race. And now this safety car has played so perfectly into Mark's hands. I'm not even going to say what might happen for him in this league.
5 seconds.
He does have to serve his 5 seconds, but so does Russian King. Does Shoki have to serve a penalty? No, he doesn't. Now this is going to put himself in such a good position to jump the other 2 drivers, and he has. Oh, look what's happened. And Mark's also jumped Russian King. So Mark's put himself into P2, Shoki into P3. Russian King now got to put himself back into the podium, paying positions. Gaming Pass, also on the soft tyres, going to be behind. Now look, Russian King's on medium tyres. Why? So the safety car is going to be out for 3 laps. That's going to leave 7 laps of soft tyre running for the top 5 drivers, apart from Russian King. So how long will these tyres last, do you think, for the soft compound tyres?
It can't. Let me just check how long they've been running with these real quick.
So the first stint for
Actually, they're
the...
on 0. This could be good. Gaming Pass is on the soft, but so is everyone ahead of him, apart from Russian King for some reason. But this safety car could bode well for Gaming Pass.
But it has already.
Cut through them when they all clump together, and there they are. All coming together against X2.
I mean, look at Mark. He's played this so well. He has played this so well for him, and even with the penalties, he's still up into P2. And I think that's just... I think his luck might turn. I'm not going to say anything else.
He's
I think
still got 5 seconds.
Does he still have 5? I'm sure he must have served all of those in the pit window.
No, he only did 5 seconds of it. He's got another 5 to go.
Okay.
Gaming Pass, locking up front right there.
I think that's just trying to get those tyres warmed up. I mean, under the safety car, you're not going to have pretty much any tyre wear at all.
Yeah, all running on lean, saving up the fuel, saving the tyres. Could be a long safety cars. There are quite a lot of cars behind. You might need to get a little bit closer.
So usually the safety car on the F1 game lasts for 3 laps, so we should be in by the end of the next lap, lap 21. Or maybe the end of this lap if I haven't counted correctly. So Mark, how is he going to get a podium? Well, he needs to at least bridge a gap of 5 seconds towards the driver behind. It could be anyone. It could be anyone of Gaming Pass, it could be Yacht, it could be Russian King. Actually, Chandra's put himself into the mix as well. So with these medium compound tyres, any one of those medium runners are going to have fresher tyres towards the end of the race. Now, we don't really know how fresher those tyres are going to be, but it might be an advantage for those medium tyre runners.
I think this does serve quite well. We're talking about it helping Mark, but Yacht, I think, has also been saved by the safety car after having to change his front wing with the sticky situation he was in.
Yeah, I think it's good for drivers when that safety car does come out and they have had a bit of unfortunate luck. It does just neutralise everything and it puts themselves in the position to sort themselves out, put themselves through the pack, and get to that position that they belong in. So far, 5 drivers retired from the race. That would be Ivan in the Mercedes, Ruby in the Williams. Both Alfa Romeo drivers, Universe and King of Time, retiring on that one, and along with the Haas driver of Worth Kata. He's had a couple of appearances in the league before, but actually getting a permanent drive as well for this season. So the safety car still going out for another lap. We don't really have much to talk about during the safety car, so how's your KFC?
It was good. I finished it. Got a bonus banquet. Well, the rice of it. It's insane. I didn't know how few people knew KFC did rice.
Okay, wait, KFC do rice?
Yeah.
I did not know that at all.
So good.
I didn't know KFC did rice at all. Strange, but more power to them. I do want to get through a kebab tonight. I think just scrolling through some takeaway. I think I deserve it. But hopefully the last lap of safety car running. I feel like the safety car looks really, really slow on the game, especially. It looks so slow.
Yeah, Hamilton's worst nightmare.
Well, hopefully we won't have this fall too much longer. I think it's strange how often the safety car comes out in the league. Like you go through like career mode or something like that, the safety car never comes out for the exact same incident. And as soon as something happens in the in online races, boom, safety car. But you love to see it, really. It does neutralise the race, and I think it does play into the hands of a lot of the drivers who have had bad luck, especially like Mark, especially like Yacht. And those 3 wide moments, really not paying in the hands of Yacht, losing both of his wing end plates.
You see, Elon Monster, who's a lapped driver, is right behind Sammy, behind the safety car. So he's gonna allow Sammy to build up quite a lead before P2, 3, and 4 have any chance of launching an attack.
You know, I think there needs to be a rule in the league now. A safety car will be in this lap, so that brings Sammy towards his position of being the safety car. But I think there should be a rule in this league that if you are a lapped car, it says, what are all these collisions going on? What are all these penalties? I don't understand how drivers can't just keep themselves safe behind the safety car. But I think there should be a rule in this league where if you are a lapped car, you just get out of the way on the pit straight, just to let those other cars past of Mark. He's gonna really put the work in for himself, and I think that just bridges the gap between Sammy and Mark and gives him a better run out. Now here we are, ready to restart this race, ready for green flag running. No overtaking before the finish line, as Sammy gets himself away now under the exit of the safety car. And look, Shoki's already on the side of Mark on these softer compound tyres. Elon just getting in the way, and Shoki trying to make a dive up the inside into turn 1. He spun around, hitting the front, hitting the side of the Williams driver. What's gone on there? Chandra was in such a good position for a points-paying position for Red Bull, but what's happened there? I think Shoki's just tried to go over into the racing line, not being careful of the drivers close towards him. Shadow of time, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as he pits for McLaren.
Yeah, Shadow Time pretty much does have confirmed points. But,
yeah, well, everyone has confirmed points now. No. Elon doesn't have confirmed points. So one wheel driver needs to retire for him to get points. Yeah, that was, that restart was ridiculous. I think Shoki's in a lot of trouble there with the stewards for re-entry.
Shoki is one of the stewards.
Oh dear, he's got to give himself something there. That's horrible re-entry. Sammy's just checked himself out all the way into the lead. Now Russian King, he's always on the back of Mark. He's always on the back of someone with these medium tyres. Mark going to be the victim so far, but those soft tyres are going to be a lot fresher. Gaming Pass not able to make ends meet as Light Blurs is right on the back of Yacht. Light Blurs having the fresher, softer tyres, going to have more pace. Now, can he get a great exit on the exit of the last corner? Jack Sparrow getting involved as well in this fight. Now he's going to have a lot more pace. DRS and overtake open. He's going to get the move done down the inside of Light Blurs. Can he get the move down in the side of Yacht? No, he can't. Yacht going wide on the exit of turn 1. That's going to put Jack Sparrow in such a loaded position to get the move done. He should have DRS as well. No, he doesn't. Hasn't opened it. But Yacht being overtaken around the outside, and Jack Sparrow with the fresher tyres managing to get himself up into P5. So Yacht, he might go down in another position here as Light Blurs is 4 tenths behind him.
Russian King on medium tyres making up time to Mark. He seems to be having some messy corners, all the while Gaming Pass is going up as well.
Oh, what's happened here? Yacht spun out. I don't know whether that was someone who made contact with him, but Yacht has spun around out into the gravel on the start of Sector 2. Now, he's in P7. Shoki's too far behind to make any inroads on that. Gaming Pass making inroads on Russian King, though, on these fresher medium tyres. So, let's see if he can put himself into the podium. And can I just ask you, Alex, to check if there's any time penalties that need to be inserted for all drivers? Just making sure we're getting... what's happened? Russian King's just disconnected. DRS has been enabled by race control.
Russian King does have terrible internet.
What's happened? I think he's disconnected. Gaming Pass being gifted. P3 is a virtual safety car. What's happened? Oh no! What's happened? I don't understand what's going on. Gaming Pass has lost his front wing because... and got a 5-second penalty too because Russian King has just lagged out.
That's unfortunate.
So, internet issues for Russian King. And we'll have to see if there's any rules to try and get that sorted out. Virtual safety car, just neutralising race. And that's going to preserve a little bit of the soft tyres for these drivers too. So, Gaming Pass, lack of front wing. And he's got a 5-second time penalty too. Are there any other penalties for these drivers?
I don't know if they're served or not, but the latest incidents are... There's a lot of 5-second time penalties. Mark has got a 5-second for collision with King of Time. Then King of Time has a 5 second for collision with Mark. And then Mark has another one for collision with King of Time, so that's 10 seconds on Mark, which I think is adding to the 5 he's already got, maybe. That's been served. Then
Yeah, well,
Yacht, Chandra, and Shadow of Time have 5 second penalties as well. Chandra doesn't really matter, he's out of the race.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't think he's going to have to serve that 5-second penalty at all. Under the virtual safety car, just before it got underway, I saw a bit of damage being dealt for Russian King as he lost a bit of his front wing. Now Gaming Pass, let's see what he can do with the lack of, I think it's front left end plate he has yet. I don't think that's not going to do too much, that's not going to be too much of a problem for him, as he is now right on the back of Russian King, who has the same amount, or if not worse, damage. Now that's going to allow Mark to really just set off into the distance and try and keep that 5-second gap that he might be able to build out. Gaming Pass getting a bit too excited on the exit of turn 5 or 4 on the sausage curb. Giving him a bit of, the rear stepping out a little bit.
I mean, Russian King, for the damage he's got, he is managing it quite well. Medium tires as well, you'd think Gaming Pass would be hot on his tail. But if anything, okay, there we go. He's making up time now on the straights.
So I think I actually think he has a lot more advantage with the front wing especially. Getting a nice run through the corner, but on the exit, not too great. But still better than Russian King. And you can just see that the downforce not great for Gaming Pass. He's just understeering into some of these corners. But,
A Wolfing time pit. I
I
mean, I didn't realise this Gaming Pass has the same damage as Russian King.
Oh, do they have the same damage?
Yeah, both front left end plates on both cars.
So let's see how they both manage this damage. Look at Gaming Pass, he's got the overspeed, he's got overtake DRS and the slipstream, and he makes a move around the outside. Does he though? Russian King manages to try and stick with him, a bit of contact being made. But there's another turn to go, and turn 3, one of the overtaking opportunities you might be able to see as Russian King defends the inside. Gaming Pass going the long way round on these soft tyres. Can he get the inside into turn 4? Yes, he can, but Russian King, holding around. Now, turn 6 is going to be a bit of a tight squeeze, and they have squeezed.
Oh, he's flipped on
Gaming Pass is out. The Season 1 champion is out of this race.
They went 2 abreast through the first sector, and I really think one of them had to just back out and be patient. I think maybe that was up to Gaming Pass. I think he should just slow down. Think, okay, I'm in a good scoring points position. I need to keep that. But he was just so set on the overtake. I think, try and get the VOD because Gaming Pass is streaming the game, and see what he was doing there.
I mean, I think the driver on the inside should have backed off there. I think Russian King should have backed off. It's the job of the driver on the inside to just back off, concede that position. I think because especially Gaming Pass was a nose ahead as well. I think there's just all the room to back off. You've still got 3 laps to make your move as well. So concede a position, just make sure you've secured those points. And now that means every driver who is finishing is in the top 10. Elon's going to score points for Mercedes too. But Mark now, crucially, he's going to be able to take the 5-second gap that he might need out towards Russian King to secure this P2. So let's hope he stays nice and consistent. He needs to do no more than to just race the heart off these tires and just go for it. Try and get that gap out, which is now 5 seconds. Now, with this pace, he will be able to secure this P2. So he just needs to drive consistently now.
I think Jack Sparrow, he didn't have the best of starts. He's been midfield the entire race, but he's just not been in many incidents.
Yeah, he's gained 4 positions from the start.
Yeah. So I think the main thing that you can take away is if you just keep your nose out of trouble, you will be rewarded, because Gaming Pass did throw away quite a good position there. No, I'm not going to blame on Gaming Pass. I'm going to have to look at it more.
I think it's one of those where whoever's on the inside does need to concede the position.
He was pushed out quite a lot and didn't have much track position. You just see him go on the grass, and that's what made him spin out. So yeah, I don't think it's his fault.
I mean, we'll see in the penalty request channel. We won't have a full classified finishing position until it gets actually announced on the OFL and FRL Discords.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it all on the UFL website.
Yep, links down to the OFL Discord, Twitter, and the website below. And towards the few end laps of the race, I don't think we've really got much to talk about. So 9 drivers finishing in this race, and it's been a messy first start of the season towards the start and the end of the races. I think the midfield battle between P2 and P5 was quite exciting, to be honest. I think that was quite exciting. I think that was quite clean, it was quite calm, quite collected, apart from Yacht being absolutely sandwiched by 2 drivers. Shoki losing out especially. He was up into P3 at one point. But, yeah, I think a quite exciting opening race of the season.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Mark has managed to redeem himself. Not redeem himself.
But actually show us what he can do consistency-wise and strategy-wise too. I mean, I think that safety car played in such perfect hands for him. You know, he's a quick driver. He's a very, very quick driver. We saw it in Silverstone, one of the first couple of races we broadcasted. We saw it there. He got into P3 in qualifying. So he's a quick driver. He's a very, very quick driver. He just needs to see that consistency and the timing. And I think he's got it right this race.
Yeah, staying out on the mediums so long and just being able to pit under the safety car and not lose any positions really did help him.
Well, one driver who has helped himself is Sammy, possibly one of the most dominant drivers we've seen in this league so far. Already got a couple of race wins to his name, and he's possibly going to start off Season 2 in the right way. Every driver so far who's finished is scoring points. And the 2 Renault drivers in P3 and P4. So I think they might have the hold over the Constructors' Championship so far.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it's unlucky for Williams, Ruby, F1, DNFing. It could have been such a good start for them.
Yeah, a lot of constructors might have had a really good start. Gaming Pass for Red Bull and Chandrazel, they might have had a really, really good start. But it's a good start for Sammy in the first race of Season 2 of the FRL League, and he takes P1 in the Australian GP. That's going to be the full 25 points for him. Make that 26 with the fastest lap of the race. And look at Mark. But he's got 5 second and so penalty, but that doesn't matter. He secures his first podium of the season, P2 for him. Fantastic consistency from him and Russian King in P3 for the lead Renault. Renault being P3 and P4. Yeah, that's quite close. But still, I think that's impressive for the Renault drivers, actually being consistent. The AlphaTauri of Light Blurs is going to finish in P5. A good race for him, very, very silent. A usual good midfield driver showing his prowess here. Yacht, a bit unlucky for him in P3 at the start of this race, now down into P6. And Shadow of Time, well, we're just going to have to wait for him to finish as he goes round the final few corners. Sammy, Mark, and Russian King, your top 3. Sammy with a fantastic win. Amazing consistency. He starts off the season right, and so does Mark as well. Redemption for him for the last few races. So there you have it. The first race of this league has been concluded for Season 2. Sammy, an absolute commanding drive from him in the McLaren team. Mark, definitely my drive of the day, the game's drive of the day too. Who's your drive of the day, Alex?
Oh, I'm going to have to give it to, I think Mark.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
I think Mark is definitely a deserved drive of the day in that P2. There they are, out on the podium now. McLaren, Renault and Williams on the podium, and it's going to be Sammy taking his, I think, 3rd win of the league and the first of this season. Mark finally in a podium playing position and hasn't messed it up for once. So well done, Mark. Well done to you. And there you go. There's the provisional classification for the Australian Grand Prix Round 1 of the OFL FRL League. Sammy taking P1 for McLaren with the fastest lap 2. Mark in P2 for Williams, and rounding out the top 3 is Russian King in the Renault. And then everybody else who is in the top 10 scoring: Gaming Pass, Chandra, Ivan, Ruby, Universe, King of Time, and Worth Cantor all retiring from the race. But that's it for the FRL Race 1. And there's going to be some Counter-Strike action for the last group stage match of the Counter-Strike Masters League. Join us at 7 PM tonight for that. But join us next week also for the Bahrain GP of the OFL FRL League Season 2. I've been Tom and Pigeon Hunt. Goodbye from me. Alex, say your final goodbyes, mate. Promote anything we need to for the league or for OFL.
Yeah, so the highlights should be up on the YouTube channel sometime this week. I just realised it wasn't recording the race, but I've got other angles for qualifying, so that's some benefit.
Well, there we go. At least we have the angles for qualifying, but the highlights should be up on the YouTube channel fairly soon. But thank you very much for joining us both throughout this race and throughout the qualifying too. It's been lovely to have you all, and join us later for some more action. It will be Counter-Strike at the Masters League. But from now, for the OFL FRL, it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from Alex. Goodbye.
Adios.